Welcome to Spotlight with Shonda Scott. Today our spotlight is on the Deputy Chief of the Office of Equity for the Oakland Unified School District, Chris Chatmon. We're here to find out more about the amazing program that Chris spearheaded, the African American Male Achievement Initiative that started years ago. So we want to find out more about the program and where it is now, because we were the first to highlight it years ago when it first started. And now we want to find out more about what the district is doing around equity, because that is the conversation now. Everyone's talking about equity and inclusion.
That's right.
But I just have to commend you and your work, because you stayed the course, and then President Obama gets elected, and then this whole light shined on my brother's keeper. But the essence of that all was from what the district was doing years ago with the African American Male Achievement.
That's right.
Which you've been leading and have just taken on to great heights. So just tell us, where is the program now?
Oh, for sure.
And then how that all is folded into your equity department.
Right on. Well, appreciate giving the opportunity to shine light on our work. And definitely, I think going back to 2010, the superintendent that we had at that time actually was a visionary, and he had the audacity actually to not locate the problem with our black boys, but locate the problem with the system. And we were ahead of the game. We were the first district in the country at that point to actually create an department that was intentional and unapologetic around the needs of supporting black boys while looking at how do we right the system in service of black boys. And as you said, now fast forward 7 years, now this model is being replicated in San Francisco, in Seattle, in New Orleans, in Detroit, in Antioch, in San Bernardino, and we're hosting actually national symposiums, one in the fall and one in the spring, where educators from across the country come to Oakland for about 4 days and learn about the work that we're doing. And so, but I say that to say that it's a blessing in the spirit of the acknowledgement, yet we still have a lot more work to do. And the fact that we've been focused on the needs of black boys also, I think, gave birth to this idea of the Office of Equity. If we created other kind of targeted strategies for our Latino brothers, for our Polynesian brothers, for our girls, that idea of focusing on the needs of marginalized children and creating the conditions, creating the culture and the competencies where the adults then accelerate their academic performance, we could go farther faster as a system. And so, we hired a director, Sister Nzinga Duga, who's now leading our work for African American girls and young women. We are in the process of interviewing for the director of Latina Achievement and the director of Asian Pacific Islander. So
does the equity, is it just on the students, or does the equity department cover the employees in the district as well? Is it the whole system? It's from the treetops to the grassroots, to the roots, to the treetops. I think, what some folks I think may not understand, and similar to when we launched AMA, if you remember, I was a staff of one. Right. So,
it's been it's been blood, sweat, and tears. It's been building collective will of people in the community, of aligning with not just district resources, but foundation resources, identifying, our own way to generate revenue. And so all that to say, the Office of Equity is looking at policy change. So, we now have an equity policy. And, part of the work this year is actually creating the action steps that then will allow us to create, a district that really meets the unique and dynamic needs of all children. And so right now as an Office of Equity, I'm a staff of one. Mm-hmm. But I feel what we were able to do with AMA in terms of building something from nothing and how to align and leverage, I feel those sort of strategies also will help the development of our Latino achievement and Asian Pacific Islander achievement, and building out the infrastructure that we need to begin to train and recruit and address kind of these institutional structures that actually perpetuate kind of us fighting for the same sort of crumbs, or saying, well, why not me, or why not me? And I think that will take time, but I have the faith that if there was a place that actually could figure this out, Oakland is that place.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, thank you for your work and your service, and thank you for your passion and staying the course, because I think the continuity of you being there really helped build the momentum too, to see the program go, where you're taking young men to the White House
Yes.
and doing presentations and across the country. You can see it in their faces in the video and footage that you see in the pictures, like how they're just feeling so much better about themselves, you
Yes.
know. And it's nice to see a place where you can see that in these young men.
That's right.
I mean, you can't, everybody's not, you know, you can't, like you said, there's still a lot more to do, but at least you see a pool of young people, you know, being honored, being uplifted, learning how to be a service and leader in our communities,
That's
and
right.
going on to college and doing great things and
That's
come
right.
back to take the rest of our places.
That's right. That's
to
the
build
goal.
on the work, right?
That's right.
So congratulations.
All love.
Thank
Thank you.
you. You've been watching Spotlight. Today our spotlight is on the Deputy Chief of the Office of Equity in the Oakland Unified School District, where every student thrives. Thank you for joining us.